This is Matador News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Matador News. I'm Frankie Benkovic.
And I'm Yasmin Amirani.
The death toll continues to rise after Saturday's 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Nepal. More than 4,600 people are dead and over 10,000 are reported injured across the Himalayan nation. Shattered temples and toppled buildings are a common scene in and around the capital city of Kathmandu. Rural parts of the country have also been heavily affected. Aid is pouring in from all over the world, but strong aftershocks and inclement weather are hindering relief efforts. Victims of a temblor are overwhelming hospitals and medical supplies are running short. The United Nations said it would release $15 million from a Central Emergency Response Fund. The U.S. is sending a disaster response team and $1 million in aid.
The deadly Nepal earthquake also triggered a series of avalanches in Mount Everest. Online video of one of the avalanches shows the exact moment a wall of snow came thundering down.
Whoa! Whoa! No!
At least 17 deaths were reported on Mount Everest following the 7.9 quake. One of those killed was a Google engineer from California. Many of the people affected were attempting to climb the world's tallest mountain.
Are you okay? Yeah. You all right? Yeah.
April is one of the most popular times to scale the 29,000 peak. The region relies heavily on tourism from adventurous people looking to conquer Mount Everest.
More than 400 decomposed corpses were found in the northeast Nigerian town of Damasak. A local government spokesperson says the bodies were found in shallow graves and on the streets of Damasak. The victims included men, women, and children. A government committee was visiting Damasak to assess the damage done by the Boko Haram terror group. The terror group seized the area in November. A regional military coalition involving troops from different countries has taken back some of the land that has been previously taken by the terror group.
President Obama has condemned what he called the criminals and thugs who tore up the city of Baltimore over the past 2 nights. The outbreak of violence followed the funeral for Freddie Gray, the 25-year-old man who died in police custody after he was arrested for more than 2 weeks ago. The city of Baltimore burned throughout last night. Protesters threw bricks and rocks at police, injuring more than a dozen. Maryland's governor declared a state of emergency and said the state is deploying every resource to regain control.
This is one of our darkest days as a city, and I know that we're much better than this. We know that the world is watching, and we cannot allow our city to devolve into chaos.
Freddie Gray's family also condemned the violence and asked for the riots to stop.
A massive tornado struck near Dallas yesterday. The tornado caused extensive damage and it was a mile wide. The National Weather Service warned residents about the tornado before it hit. Hail the size of softballs crashed down, making driving difficult. Emergency crews have not been able to check for damage and casualties because the weather is so bad.
Bumblebee Foods and 2 of its former managers were charged in the 2012 death of an employee. Prosecutors in San Diego say their actions led to the death of 62-year-old Jose Melena. Melena entered an oven used to sterilize cans of tuna as a part of his job. Coworkers were unaware that he was inside the oven when they turned it on. Melena burned to death. The managers involved could face a maximum of 3 years in prison if convicted. Bumblebee Foods faces a maximum fine of $1.5 million.
Police in Cucamonga have arrested a man for shooting a woman and keeping her hostage in her apartment for 26 days. The woman escaped and told hospital employees that she was shot on April 1st after an argument with the man. The woman told detectives she didn't try to escape sooner because she was in fear of her life and her family's life. 38-year-old Michael Venegas was booked on suspicion of attempted murder, false imprisonment, and kidnapping.
Court has adjourned for the day in Colorado for the Aurora Theater shooting trial. James Holmes is accused of killing 12 people and wounding 70 others in a theater in Aurora. Holmes admits to the shooting, but the defense says he was suffering a psychotic episode. He is pleading not guilty by reason of insanity.
It's not what happened. This is really what was going on in James Holmes' mind and brain when these events occurred.
Holmes' attorney said in a court filing last week that he would plead guilty to avoid being executed.
Corinthian Colleges is shutting down 24 schools, leaving 16,000 students scrambling for alternatives. Corinthian has been in serious trouble for almost a year after the U.S. Department of Education restricted its access to federal student aid. The department was concerned the school was falsifying graduates' job placement rates. The students are eligible for a refund and can transfer credits to other institutions.
The Supreme Court heard arguments today on same-sex marriage. Outside, hundreds gathered.
4, 6, 8, marriage equality can't wait.
Outside, hundreds gathered calling for approval of same-sex marriage.
It is democracy in action, and I've never been more proud to be an American.
Meanwhile, hundreds of counter-protesters demonstrated against same-sex marriages. Some held Bibles and wore shirts with religious items on them. It's expected that Justices Kennedy, Roberts, and will be the decisive votes in deciding the issue.
And now with the latest in entertainment, Janelle Marie tells us more about the tell-all Bruce Jenner interview and its impact all around the world.
Thank you, Frankie. Bruce Jenner's interview with Diane Sawyer was seen by 17 million people worldwide. The Olympic gold medalist turned reality TV star talked about his plans on transitioning into a woman. Jenner's story helped put trans issues on the map. However, activists in the trans community say that the challenges faced by most trans people are not reflected in Jenner's story. Photos released of Jenner wearing a dress in front of his Malibu home were posted all over the media. Jenner is now threatening to sue CNN and the Daily News for violating his privacy. McDreamy is now McDead. Patrick Dempsey's character, Dr. Derek McDreamy Shepherd, died a violent death on ABC's Grey's Anatomy. His death caused a firestorm with the show's fandom. A devoted fan was inspired and started a Change.org petition to bring his character back to life. The petition has already collected more than 20,000 signatures from his devoted fans. The Stay With Me singer Sam Smith has canceled his Australian tour. The singer apologized on Twitter, saying that the doctors told him to give his vocal cords a rest. Smith was diagnosed with a small hemorrhage on his vocal cords. If they don't heal properly, Smith could suffer long-term damage. Heaven has a new angel, a Victoria's Secret angel that is. The famous lingerie brand revealed that 10 models would be added to its roster of angels. The announcement was made at a press conference earlier today. The new angels will be joining the likes of Adriana Lima and Alexandra Ambrosio to be part of the 2015 Victoria's Secret's Angels lineup. This is the largest group of contract models in the company's history. And that's all we have today for entertainment. Now back to you, Yasmin.
The fast food chain Chipotle has announced it is removing all genetically modified ingredients from its menu. There is still no scientific evidence that GMOs pose a risk to health, but clients have been demanding to know what's in their food. Chipotle promised to ditch GMOs back in 2013 and now has finally come through. But some people are still concerned that Chipotle uses meat from animals that were fed on GMO corn or other products.
A 17-year-old teen in Connecticut forced to have chemotherapy has completed treatment and left the hospital. Cassandra C., as she's identified in court documents, was ordered by a judge to undergo chemo to treat Hodgkin's lymphoma. She tried to run away in effort to discontinue chemo because she did not want to be treated. Cassandra is now healthy and has recovered.
The eruption of Chile's Calbuco volcano sent clouds of ash that ultimately covered a small town and now raises health concerns. Chilean authorities evacuated 4,000 people and closed access to the area near the volcano. They say people are suffering respiratory problems from inhaling the ash. Short-term dangers include eye and skin infections. And now here's Adelaja with sports, including the latest on CSUN baseball, softball, and golf, and also a big game tonight for the Clippers, who take on the champion Spurs.
Thank you, Yasmin. The CSUN softball team beat Long Beach State 3-1 on Sunday. They are now 14-1 in the Big West. Before the win, CSUN had not won a series against the 49ers since 2002. The CSUN baseball team defeated UC Riverside 10-9 over the weekend. The Matadors play at San Diego State tonight at 6. The CSUN men's golf team is in 7th place in the Big West Championship Tournament in San Luis Obispo. Junior Tim Snyder is the only Matador in the top 20. The team was tied for 5th in the opening round. The Clippers and Spurs will play a pivotal Game 5 tonight at Staples Center. The Clippers and Spurs are tied 2 games apiece in a 7-game series. The Spurs are the defending NBA champions. The game will start at 7:30 tonight. UFC lightweight heavyweight champion John Jones has been released from jail in Albuquerque last night after he paid a $2,500 bond. Jones was booked on charges of hit and run. That's it for sports. Back to you, Frankie.
A suburban bar owner in Chicago is defending a two-way mirror located in the women's restroom with a full view of the toilet. The controversy surfaced after a comedian by the stage name Tamale Rock stumbled across the mirror. The owner of Cigar and Stripes is refusing to take down the mirror.
The 710 southbound lanes are now open one day after a gasoline truck overturned and caught on fire. The fire destroyed the pavement near Atlantic Boulevard, making it unsafe for drivers. Officials say the gasoline truck was carrying about 8,500 gallons of gasoline. It is not clear what caused the truck to overturn, and no one was hurt in the fire.
Authorities are blaming a homeowner's power tool for starting a fire that burned 40 acres and threatened homes in Granada Hills yesterday. More than 200 firefighters and helicopters battled the blaze. At least 2 responders were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A second fire near Mission Hills by the 5 freeway burned 2 acres of grass. No homes were in danger.
Matador Nights was a huge success with nearly 3,500 students attending. The night featured Hawaiian-themed food, fun, and live performances. Guests were invited to participate in hula lessons, mini golf, and casino-style games. The turnout for the event exceeded the expectations of the organizers.
Thank you for watching. I'm Frankie Benkovic.
I'm Yasmin Amirani.
I'm Adelaja.
And I'm Janelle Rodriguez. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
I kept smiling just in case.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like, sorry.
I'm trying to have no mug.